Yeah, there were.
They showed movies on TV too? It wasn't just a...
Well, only the cowboy movies,
Just the cowboy.
as I remember.
Hmm.
Maybe
Okay.
they did. They had such wonderful movies back there, and the dance musicals,
Right.
Broadway melodies of
Right.
1935 or whatever, you know.
Right. All right. So a minute ago you mentioned like he comes home, what's for dinner? Your role is to take care of the kids, make sure dinner is cooked and all of that stuff. So I realize this is kind of this can be a sensitive or possibly loaded kind of question, but like in doing that you've switched from having a job and being your own sort of like independent individual to now like this is your role. Did you ever feel like did you ever feel like I don't really want this role? I would wish I was working and doing something else. You know what I mean?
Sometimes you miss that, but
Yeah.
I knew when I got married that I was giving that up.
So do you feel like you just made that choice at that point?
I did, and deal with it,
Yeah.
because I didn't see any chance ever of doing anything else.
Right. What else?
Because
would you
I didn't have babysitters so that I could go anywhere.
Mhm. Did anybody else have that? Like, did anybody else have childcare to that extent, so that both the mother and father were both working?
I don't think so.
Wasn't
I
that
don't.
popular?
I don't remember. I'm sure they did, but not in my circle. That
Mhm.
people I knew. All the people I knew stayed home and did their work.
Mm.
Jack's sister lived there. Jack's sister, Aunt Pat,
Mhm.
and she had several children, but she had a garden,
Mhm.
and she liked to ride the tractor and do the work, and her husband did the inside work. He had the dinner ready.
Right.
It was completely,
That's reversed.
yeah, for me.
Yeah.
But our children liked to play together,
Mhm.
and I would stop by there, and
Right.
they always had a good time.
Right.
Two
Yeah.
different. He worked at. Her husband was the fireman. Worked at the fire engine, and
Mm.
that's not important.
Well, that's interesting. Just like what other people do. I mean, that's sort of interesting for me. Like as I've gone through like, different career changes, just over the past 5 or 6 years or so. Because I think we may have talked about this before, but now like we're recording this at 10 o'clock on a Monday morning, and that's generally when we do this. Whereas like most of the other people my age and my friends are all working, like they have regular 9 to 5 jobs. So it's just interesting for me to hear like what the professions and lifestyles of just people in general, just throughout the years.
Yeah.
Because my expectation, I guess, for myself and just always growing up is like you work 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, and that's what the schedule is. So now being able to do something like this with my crazy weird schedule is different, but really, really nice too. So it's cool to hear what other people are doing. So you said sometimes that you missed working. Like, what was it about the work that you missed? I know for me, like, sometimes as crazy as it is, sometimes like I miss going to have like an actual job. I don't miss having a boss. I don't miss driving in traffic. I don't miss like a lot of the BS that companies work. But I miss, strangely enough, like I miss the camaraderie and being able to vent with your coworkers about
Exactly.
something. Is that the same sort of
Yeah.
stuff?
I think so.
Did you get that so like if you were having a bad day or whatever, if the kids were being really obnoxious, did you get to, what was your social circle like, and were you able to like meet and hang out and vent with other moms in the area?
Well, when I was when they were young and I first lived in Annapolis, and I met one of Jack's cousins, and she liked to sew, Betty Browning, and she liked to sew, and so did I. We had children the same age, and we had a really nice time together. She would call me in the morning and say the coffee's hot, and I'd take my kids and walk to her house.
Nice.
And or did I drive? I mean,
Yeah,
it wasn't very far. and she's still a good friend, and lives in Florida now.
Nice. Okay, so then let's talk about Florida a little bit. So you get orders that you need to move to Florida. What part of Florida was it?
Green Cove Springs.
Where's that?
It's 28 miles from Jacksonville, and it's 28 miles from what's that? St. Augustine. And it was great living there.
Why?
They had beaches that we could go to and spend.
Which you love going to the beach and going swimming in the ocean. Is that correct?
Yes, and playing with. I didn't swim in the ocean.
That's what I'm saying. Did you go swimming in the ocean or not?
I waded.
Okay.
I didn't. We had no waterboards or anything to play with. But
Right.
the other families, just like me, did the same thing.
Right.
We would go there pack up our lunches and take our kids and go. And
So how long were you guys in Florida for?
couple of years.
Okay.
Yeah,
And that's where Trisha was born, you said?
that's where Tricia was born.
What year was
53, December of 53.
that? Okay.
And I brought her home on Christmas Eve.
Oh.
Yeah, Christmas Day.
Oh.
Christmas Day.
Okay, Christmas Day.
And when I went in to get her, they had all the babies. She was born in Jacksonville, and they had all the babies lined up in the nursery, lying on their stomach with their diapers on, and they had big red marks printed on their diapers that said "Merry Christmas."
Oh.
And Trisha was the one with the X in the meant good luck.
That's funny. Oh, we have a new story.
You never heard that?
Nice.
You didn't know that? I know.
All right, we'll let them have that.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
so I'm also wondering, so this is your third child. Like, are you planning all of these babies? Is it like we want to have a gigantic family?
That's not a gigantic family.
Right now, it's not.
Since I was the 10th one in mine,
That's
I'm
a good
just getting
point,
started.
comparatively. So, but I mean, was it a situation where you're like, we're just gonna keep just having babies and babies and babies?
No,
How
but
did
we just felt like it was time to have another one.
Just okay.
I don't know. You get the feeling. You miss it. You want.
No, you get the feeling where you're like, oh yeah, let's just have another baby, no big deal. Whereas, I think for me, it's not like, oh yeah, let's just have a baby, it's no big deal. You know what I mean? Like, there's lots of discussion and planning and that sort of thing, which is just, maybe that's just,
I don't think we did all that then.
it was just, yeah, we're having more babies.
Yeah.
No,
What if
I mean,
we had
we're-
another one?
Yeah,
I mean, there
wouldn't that
was
be nice?
3, or she was 3.5.
Mhm.
Is that right? And other people were having new babies.
Right, so might
and
as
it
well.
was like, I
Right.
have these baby clothes from the last time.
Might as well, if you put them to use.
Yeah.
It seems funny, like,
But we didn't stop and think like maybe we should have. Can we afford it?
right, maybe we should have stopped at 2.
I mean,
3.
But I had an easy time. It was not like I was going through any big suffering like some
Right,
women do.
right.
And
Right. Okay, so we're in Florida now. You were there for a couple of years
we get orders.
to go back to DC at that
We
point.
went.
Before we leave Florida, so how come?
What did he do when he was there?
Sure. What did he do when he was in Florida?
They had what they put the sea vessels, ships that weren't in use. They had been taken to this anchored place on I think it's the Jones River, whatever. And he was like a watchman. They have to have somebody to watch the property there and stuff. And he could work half a day. I mean, he could wear shorts to work. It was nice
Kinda
duty
cool.
for him,
Yeah.
for a change.
Did you notice any difference, like, in family life or in his demeanor when, versus living in Annapolis versus living in Florida? Like, of course, like, it's different. You have to make new friends and meet new people, but
Yeah.
like, just as the family unit that you guys are, did that change at all? From changing location like that? Like, he only has to work half days sometimes, and he's...
So we had more time, more leisure time. That was
Was that good or bad?
that was good.
Okay.
Oh, that was definitely good.
So what kind of stuff did you guys do then?
Well, like I said, we would go to the beach. We could go to different places, do a little sightseeing around. We went to the alligator farm and things that you do when you're in a new area.
Right.
We had nice playgrounds to take the kids.
Did you see your family, like, did you get up to Louisiana more frequently because you were
No,
you're close, right?
one of my sisters, Opal, did come. She and her family came and visited us while we were there. It's still a long way to Louisiana from
Yeah, I guess so.
Florida.
Anything else in Florida? Like, what was it? I mean, obviously, you go in there now. You have 2 and then 3 babies. What's it like? What was your living situation like there?
Well, the first house we lived in was pretty interesting. Before we could get temporary housing, which was what they called the flat tops and the peak tops, and with just small houses that had been put up on the ground for the Navy employees there. But the house that we moved in first was not in that one of those. It was in a regular housing development. And it had cement walls, and we got there, we went in January. So we expected to be warm, but at nights it was very cool.
Yeah.
And the walls would, the condensation would form at night. If your bed or anything was up against the wall, it would be wet.
Right.
And your closets clothes would mildew.
Oh, wow.
We had that to contend with.
The swamplands of Florida.
Yeah, and it would rain every day almost.
Yeah.
But you'd have your clothes out on the line, and when you left to go to the beach
Right.
in the afternoon, they would be, I would have done my laundry and hung it out. And it would rain, and it would dry. You come home, just put your clothes in.
Yeah, I mean, so we're in like mid 50s now, early 1950s.
53, 54.
So, like, the difference at this point, if you can think about this, the difference in, what just like daily living convenience-wise is like with the advent of new technologies. You're talking about like your vacuum cleaner and that sort of stuff. You know what I mean?
Right. It was
like, and getting a TV. You talk about that too. Just 33, 35 years prior to this, like you're living in a house that doesn't have electricity, doesn't have running water. You know what I mean?
right.
Like, what do you recognize these changes? Or do you just sort of go with the flow?
You go. You're happy you've gotten something else new.
Right. Right.
We still did not have we did not buy a washing machine while we were there. We didn't get that till we moved back to Washington.
Right. So you hand wash all of
We used a washer.
the washable. How do you do it? So what do you do?
No.
If you don't have a
No, we
washing
didn't have a
machine,
rub board. I'm trying to think now that I said that, where we did our laundry.
Yeah.
Remember.
Well, like,
I don't know if we had one in that house or not.
if you didn't have a
We
washing
had to.
machine, what did you do?
We had to.
Did you hand washed it with like a
With a rub board.
no,
No, not there. I know I didn't have that when I lived there.
But at
maybe
some-
we had washing machine.
Did
Maybe
you-
maybe I lied again.
Maybe you did lie. Did you ever? But if you did not have a washing machine, is that how you washed your clothes, or did you take it somewhere to? You know what I mean? Like, how do you
I know
wash your
what you
clothes
mean.
if you don't have a washing machine?
He's trapping me.
What did you do in like when you lived in the where when you were living in D.C.? How did you wash your clothes there?
We did have a washing machine.
Okay.
We did not have a dryer.
When you moved in with your sister in Louisiana, Mississippi.
Yeah,
What did you do there?
she had a washer. She
In
had
the
a washer.
washing machine
Yeah,
in the 30s?
because we did,
Really?
we did not.
When were washing machines invented?
That was in Pumpkins in 1939.
Huh. All right. Okay.
Well, they were.
Learn something new.
Oh, you know.
Okay. Anything else? Technology advancement wise that you can think of that was
We had electric fans.
no AC, no air
No.
conditioning.
No air conditioning.
Yeah, that would have been rough, I would think.
It was hot.
Yeah, I would imagine. Anything else you can think of that you want to talk about from Florida?
From Florida. What else? Yes, Linda went to kindergarten.
Oh yeah, so we got it. Yeah, kids are
Yeah,
going
we
to school
moved.
now.
We moved to the Peak Tops
Okay.
from our housing, and we let her go to kindergarten there. And she came home one day and she said, Mommy, I don't want to go to school. I want to be a Baptist. and, so she thought if she was a Baptist, like I was a Baptist, then she wouldn't have to go to school and go to the Catholic Sunday school class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And she came home another day and she said, "Oh, Mommy, it smells just like Granny's kitchen." I had baked bread. And Granny used to bake bread all the time, and her house did smell like great food, you know.
Nice. Anything else?
So what else? We had to move from there.
Uh-huh.
And Tricia was, how old? 6 months. She was about 6 months old when we came back and was taking a bottle. And we're driving, and how are you going to heat the bottle?
Right.
And so we go into a restaurant on the way and have them heat the milk.
What else are you going to do? Yeah. Okay. Anything else from Florida that you can think of before you guys went back to D.C.?
No, we made a lot of friends there, which we kept in touch with
Really?
for a long time.
How do you keep in touch? Is it letter writing, telephone calls?
Oh, letters.
Letters.
You write letters.
It's weird. I feel like it's so easy now to keep in touch with people, right? Just with
Right.
text and email and
Yeah.
Facebook and all of that stuff. But it's certainly not as personal as like you sit down and you write a letter and you send it off.
And it is a fun thing to do.
That's interesting.
I didn't tell you the night Tricia was born, when we had to take her to Jackson. We had to drive to Jacksonville, which was like an hour drive. And we were on the way, and Lib is 3 and Tricia and Linda's 5, and we go to get to Jacksonville, and he told the kids that he would be he had leave to he had maternity leave. He took off leave to take care of the kids while I was there, but that was only 3 days, so I was home to take care of them then. But we got there ready to go in, and it was raining. So he took me in and left me, and he came back out to the car, and now I don't know if he left them in the car while he took me, and I can't remember that detail,
Uh-huh.
but when he came back to the car, he had 2 flat tires
Oh, damn.
and 2 kids in the car.
Yeah.
And he had to change the tires, or I don't know how he handled that.
Yeah, how did he handle that?
Well,
Took it out on me.
I don't. I
That's
forgot
crazy.
that.
Yeah.
I was inside having
Yeah,
a baby.
you were having a baby. You gone through
But
that.
then he came back. He had planned on stopping at the Chiefs Club, where we often went and had dinner and had drinks and played. And so that was his experience. Have to go home and deal with that.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy.
But they notified him the next day sometime that he had another daughter.
You have another child.
They were
All
not-
right.
They were not happy.
Anything else that you could think of? Florida, off the top of your head.
I don't know, won $35 at the bingo club.
Boom. There
Jack's
you go.
father came down. He had a heart attack. Jack's father, while we were down there. He was in Annapolis, and so when he was getting better, he came down and stayed a week with us after Tricia was born, and that was interesting.
How does that tie into the $35 you won in bingo?
And we went and played bingo at the Chiefs Club, I guess, and I won $35.
You remember that?
Big-
That's good.
Big
Nice.
money.
That was
Yeah.
a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what the inflation rate would be on that. What would that be nowadays? $38.
I don't know what I did with it either.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. All right, cool. Anything else you want to talk about today?
That's it.
Okay. So if you think of anything else next time, obviously write it down. Keep your notes. Any other thing that we missed from early Annapolis years or Florida years. And then next time, maybe talk a little bit about moving back to Washington, D.C. and then back to Annapolis. Good.
Okay.
And if you have any other parenting advice or tips for a 5-year-old, I would love to hear what you have to
Oh,
say.
that's wonderful.
All right. Good work. Thanks. See you.
See.